Oh boy, disclaimer.
Hello Banderson, everyone here. I've reviewed all 32 Treehouse of Horror installments of The Simpsons, and one thing that has become a recurring issue in the latter episodes is timing. For some reason, the Simpsons writers really seem to struggle to fit everything they want into the small time frame each segment allows, leading to many of them feeling rushed, with their many important elements being missed out over mediocre humour. Well, it seems that the writers themselves have finally realised this, so for this year they released Not It. Much like the typical Treehouse of Horror segment, it is a parody of a well-known franchise, in this case It, but this time it's given the runtime of an entire episode. 22 minutes of The Simpsons parodying the highest grossing horror movie to date? What could possibly go wrong? Well, let's take a look and find out. So, as expected, the episode is shown in two halves, or chapters, much like the two movies it is based on. The first half shows preteen Homer, Marge, Moe, Carl and Comic Book Guy living in the small town of Kingfield. I see what they did there. All is good aside from the mass amount of kids disappearing due to Crusto the Clown, an evil shape-shifting clown who kills children so their spirits can be his studio audience. Why? Because no one found him funny when he was alive. That's a rather morbid idea and I really like it. Crusto is of course a redesigned Krusty, which is an obvious choice. He's not just the Simpsons' most famous clown, but he's one of the most famous and recognisable clowns in modern entertainment. The kids, after doing plenty of research, manage to find Crusto's secret lair and defeat him after tricking him into severely hurting himself with slapstick comedy. However, 27 years later, kids start mysteriously being killed in horrifying ways, and it's up to the now grown-up children to come together again and defeat him once and for all. This episode is a bit of a mixed bag if I'm honest, with some good and some bad elements. I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the first half a lot more, mainly because of Crusto. He is legitimately creepy and the animation used in his scenes is beautiful. The scenes where we see Crusto terrifying the kids in different ways is great, and the different morphs he uses to do it are imaginative. My personal favourite is when he terrorises Moe as a ventriloquist puppet, an obvious homage to The Clown Without Pity from Treehouse of Horror 2. Oh, and Goosebumps of course. Seeing a young Superintendent Chalmers, Principal Skinner and music teacher Mr. Largo as the preteen bullies is a nice touch, but they don't really do anything with it. There's also a side story of Comic Book Guy wanting to get with Marge and getting jealous that Homer is getting close to her. To assure that he gets Marge and not Homer, he signs a poem Homer wrote for her, which is apparently enough for Marge to marry him in the future. Right. After the kids defeat Crusto, they make a pact to come back and kill him for good if he ever returns, which takes us to 27 years later. The latter half of the episode isn't as good, but it still has its interesting moments. Crusto's kills are violent, but they're also fun, such as him using a pie to kill Jimbo Jones. Funnily enough, I find the future relationship between Marge and Comic Book Guy to be the best part of the latter half. They have both managed to make a great life for themselves with a nice house, good careers, and 2 kids, which is essentially Bart and Lisa character swapped.
Mom, I got an A+ on my Elizabeth Cady Stanton diorama.
I threw a stink bomb in the teacher's lounge and Bike locked the door.
Ha, very funny. Comic Book Guy is the only one of the grown-ups who refuses to go back to Kingfield, causing serious issues between him and Marge. However, he is eventually convinced to go back after experiencing this hell.
And I'm
the same little coward you always were!
Christ! This is easily my favourite scene of the episode. With all 5 adults reunited, they go to Crusto's lair where he reveals to Marge that Comic Book Guy didn't write that poem for her. We also see the spirits of all the kids he's killed in a chilling and well animated moment. Bart and Lisa, who were kidnapped by Crusto earlier, realise that the only way to defeat him is to break the laugh prompt so the kids' spirits will stop laughing at his comedy. Marge grabs a rock with the intent to throw it at the laugh prompt, but Crusto attempts to eat her. Riddled with guilt over his lies, Comic Book Guy sacrifices himself to save Marge, allowing her to break the laugh prompt and kill Crusto for good. Despite his bravery though, Marge still doesn't forgive him.
Does this make up for lying to you all these years?
Oh, honey, of course not.
Jeez, Marge, you just saved your damn life by giving his own. Wanna cut him a break? Not It works well in the visual and creep factor departments. Crusto's kills are bloody and violent, which I'm always happy to see, and the animation is stunning throughout. However, where it flops is its comedy. I find it ironic that Crusto's main character arc is that he wasn't funny, considering this episode itself wasn't funny. There were two gags I laughed at. The first was the missing kids gag at the beginning, and the second was Mo refusing to let us see comic book guy's Crusto flashback.
He came to me as the rotting corpse of my grandmother in a hot tub full of maggots.
We get it, no need for a flashback.
That's it. A lot of the other jokes were just too obvious. Oh look, Crusto got stuck in the TV. Who saw that coming? Oh wow, Bart and Lisa are the complete opposites in this story. What a clever idea. Seriously, two characters having their traits swapped does not a good joke make. Even the title is unimaginative. Not it? Really? You're gonna resort to a school playground chant for this? And then there's the blatant in-your-face fourth wall breaks and references.
That's right. Build the tension.
Man, they really got carried away with these.
It's still floating! This is fun to me!
It's a fair fight.
Let's run away.
Now let's find out if this water is deep enough for jumping!
Marge, there's something I have to tell you. Right now. Because if I wait even one more second, I'm talking 1 single second, just one, something might happen that will make me not...
Mom!
Oh, be able to tell you.
I get that it's a parody, but you can parody something without every conversation or piece of dialogue forcing a reference down my throat. And I get that parodies don't have to be funny. The problem is, Not It is trying to be funny and it doesn't do it very well. Even the Easter eggs are weak. You get it? Because Stephen King wrote it, and King rhymes with spring, so they named the town Kingfield? The episode ends with Kang and Kodos annoyed that their killer clown monster didn't wipe out humanity. So then they start literally reading out the titles of other Stephen King novels for ideas of what to try next. This isn't just forced comedy, it's plain laziness. Fuck's sake. Not It is an interesting episode because the idea was there and they certainly lived up to a lot of it, but it severely failed in its main objective, to be a good parody. It's all well and good having lovely animation, an interesting alternate future, chilling atmosphere and gory deaths, but when the episode doesn't do its main job well, it falls flat. It's not a bad episode by any means, but it's nothing special either. The animation and creep factor are still enough to warrant it a solid 6 out of 10 though. I just feel it could have been done slightly better with better placed jokes and less in-your-face references. And that's it for this video and this review. Do you agree with me or do you think I'm a Stephen short of a King? What did you think of Not It? Let me know in the comments below. I've been Banterson, stay humble, and I'll see you next time.